Loving yourself does not mean that you don't have bad days. It doesn't mean that you don't have days where you just want to give up on absolutely everything, anything and everything. That's not what self-love is. Self-love is working through those things even when you have those days. Knowing that you will come out the other side stronger and better because of it. Not in spite of it, but because of it. That's the thing about chaos and entropy and confusion and frustration and anger and pain and sadness and all of this shit. It's actually a tool. And it is, and it very much can be something that is beneficial to you in your life. But a lot of people don't take it that way. Pain is a sign of progress. If you are in a bad spot, that means that you need to make some changes in your life. And it's the world, externally, it's the world's way, and it's your brain's way and your body's way of telling you that the way that you are doing things currently is not working, and that something's got to fucking change. And if you don't change, there's going to be consequences. And the consequences are that things are going to continue to be the way that they've always been, and that they might actually get worse. You know, if you continue to do what you've always done, you will always get the results that you've always gotten. That's a fact. That is not my opinion. That is a law of the universe, a karmic law, however you want to word it. If you continue to do the same repetitive shit that you have done for the past 5 fucking years, you cannot expect that things are going to get better for you. And you especially don't have the right to complain when things get worse, when things don't improve, when you're still a fat, lazy sack of shit. Your life is not going to get better unless you take an honest, hard look in the fucking mirror and really work toward changing the shit that is feeding off of your energy. You have to genuinely be sick of yourself. You have to, bro, I got to a point, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'll say it until I'm red in the fucking face, dog. I got to the point where I was so sick and I was so fed up with my own bullshit that it forced me to change. It forced me to change. And I'm telling you right now, the best kind of change is spawned out of pain. Let me say that again. The best kind of change is the change that spawns from pain. You cannot win unless you fail multiple times. You have to fall again and 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 again, and I can make a song out of that. And I might. Because it's important. It's an important message. You have to just let go of all of that shit, dog. Everything that's hurting you, and most likely it stems from childhood. There is something that happened in your childhood, or a series of events, or the way that you were raised. It all goes back to childhood. You need to find and pinpoint what those things are so that you can address them and you can move forward accordingly. Accept the fact that it's not your fault, but also accept the fact that it is your responsibility. It's not your fault, so you shouldn't blame yourself for it. The pain, the trauma, the unnecessary suffering. There is necessary and there is unnecessary suffering. I learned this from a YouTuber that I follow named Deja Sade. She's really, really hot. You should go check her out. She's sexy. I know she's got a man, or whatever, for now. But y'all should go subscribe because she's really, really hot. And she's very smart and says a lot of very insightful things, of course, that I take advice from. But also she's really bad. Black women with dreadlocks are my thing. So I had to throw that out there. I had to plug her. She's probably never gonna see this, but if she does see it, if she sees this video, hey, hi, I'm single. What's up? You like white guys? Yeah, she's a really good roller skater, very, very athletic, very just, very nice to look at, yeah. But anyway, she was talking about necessary and unnecessary suffering, right? Necessary suffering is stuff that is going to happen to you in your life that is inevitable. It is 100% inevitable, and it is going to hurt like hell, and you're going to hate it, and it's going to be awful, and you're going to want to die. Right? That's the necessary suffering. Now, it's important to note, right? Necessary does not mean deserved. I'm, of course, quoting. Necessary doesn't mean that you deserve it. It doesn't mean that you deserved it in any way. It just means that it is something that is going to happen to you that you have to come out of the other side of because you have no choice, and it is necessary for your mental and emotional and spiritual development to go through. And then unnecessary suffering are things that you bring upon yourself that make your life harder and make things harder in general. You have to identify which is which, because the necessary suffering is suffering that's going to help you grow and evolve as a person. The unnecessary suffering is exactly the opposite. It's going to weaken you. It's going to make you worse, right? So when I think about, unnecessary suffering, I think of I spent half my paycheck on a vacation that I didn't plan for, and I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent or even eat next week because #YOLO. And now I'm gonna take this bottle of whiskey that's been sitting in my cabinet for a couple months that I haven't touched yet because I was saving it for a special occasion. Now I'm gonna drink the whole bottle and die of alcohol poisoning, or maybe even survive, and then the ambulance comes and they have to stick a bunch of tubes down my throat, and then I end up in the hospital, and then I end up homeless because I couldn't pay my rent. I got evicted, and now I'm eating raw ramen noodles, completely uncooked, just straight out of the package, along with tuna fish out of a can, sitting inside of a cardboard box under an underpass. That was unnecessary suffering, And then necessary suffering is something like one of my relatives died. Well, all of your relatives are going to die, so you might as well accept it now. That sounded really insensitive. That sounded like I didn't care about you or have empathy. I absolutely do. Please don't misconstrue what I'm saying. Anyway, what were we talking about? Necessary suffering is, grief. It's heartbreak. It's getting fired from a job. It's, sweating through an intense workout. That's necessary suffering because that molds you and it makes you stronger, and it helps you evolve as a human being throughout the course of your life, because the whole purpose of life from birth until death is evolution. It's improvement. It's struggle. That's the whole reason that we were put on this earth. We were put on this earth to struggle and to come out the other side of that struggle stronger, better. That is life. That is why the human species is here in the first place. That's why we were put on this planet. And then when we die, we will either ascend to the next realm of consciousness, or we will come right back here. You have lived many lifetimes, and you will continue to live many lifetimes on this planet until you get it right. Until you get it right, and until you are able to move on. And if you're not able to move on, guess what? You come right back here. Do you really want to do this shit all over again? You can either become the person that you say you want to become, or you can come right back here onto this planet and do it all over again. Which one do you want? See, people call me crazy for saying shit like that, but then they do the same bullshit and regurgitate all of the same information, whether it's correct or not, and they're completely miserable. Whose life do you want? Because even if I'm wrong about my theory on the afterlife, guess what? I'm still happier than you. I'm still not as much of a bitch as you are. So, I'm less of a bitch and you're more of a bitch. So who should people listen to, right? If you're a bitch and I'm not, or if you're an idiot, let's not even say bitch. I don't even like to use that term. Only worry about the things that you can control and do not worry about the things that you cannot. And that's the secret to living a good life. I figured it out. I figured it all out. And I'm speaking with a smug air of arrogance because I know everything. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I will be uploading many more new videos, many more times. And as always, I will see you all in the next video.